I'm going to do some apple pie filling, so I thought I would just share how I'm doing it and what I'm up to today. I'm going to do Mrs. Wage's fruit pie filling, and I'm going to use a variety of apples. I have green apples and some red apples here. I have jars like this, and I have new lids. I have rings formed. Put them on here like this, in case you do not know. I have 3 cups of sugar, some apple juice. This is some fruit fresh. You could also use lemon juice. This is just to add to water that I'm going to put these in after I peel them and slice them so that they don't turn brown. You can also put a little lemon juice in there and it'll do the same thing. So first thing I need to do is get some water and boil it and get these jars washed and clean and put in there so that they're nice and hot. My jar is nice and clean, and now I have them in some water. I'm just going to get this up to boiling so that these jars are nice and hot and the water is ready for when I go to can. After I get them all nice and sliced, I'm going to put them in here and get it boiling. And just boil them for 1 minute just to get them nice and hot and ready for canning. Now that my jars are heating up, my lids are washed, my rings, I have water heating up to get these boiling. Once I get them all sliced, I'm going to go ahead and get this container here. I'm going to set this over here. I'm going to put water in this and maybe a tablespoon or so of fruit fresh. Fruit fresh, you can just put a tablespoon or so of lemon juice. Here I'm just going to add some fruit fresh to it. Now for the fun part, I'm going to use one of these machines because it's a lot faster. It just, you put it on here and turn it if you've ever seen it, and this part peels it and this part slices it, and the core comes out through here, so it's peeled and sliced and cored all at the same time. If you're doing lots of apples, I suggest getting one of these just because it's so much easier. What I don't like about it is it makes pretty thin slices, but that's still better than doing it all by hand. Just put the apple on there and turn it. And you have the apple mostly peeled, and peel here, and here's the core. Now that I have them all sliced up here, I'm going to go ahead and get my water boiling that I'm going to use to boil these in here, and it's almost ready. It's heating up. The jars are just about ready to start boiling here, I think. Sounds like it. Looks like it. I'm just going to wait until that water starts boiling, and then I'm going to take drain these out of here and put them in that water, boil them for a minute, and take them back out and put them back in here again. Cups of sugar here in this packet. I'm going to just mix these together. Oh, it smells really, really good. Just going to mix all this together until it's well blended. Okay, this is boiling away, so I'm going to go ahead and take the apples and put them all in there. Once a minute or so is up, then I will drain these and set them back in here and just let them set while I get the rest of the filling ready. Take these and cover them with a towel. Now I can get started on the rest here. I'm going to take this, put this over here, turn on the heat, and I'm going to get 3 cups of apple juice ready. Take 3 cups of apple juice. I already have this all mixed together really well. Apple juice poured in here. Then I'm going to pour in the sugar and seasoning mix. And then just mix it together really, really well. It's mixed together really well, then it'll start to thicken up. As soon as it starts to thicken up, I'll turn off the heat and mix in the apple slices. I'm just going to continue to stir this the entire time until it starts to thicken, which isn't very long. As soon as it starts to thicken up, you take it off the heat. You don't want to overcook this or overheat it. Okay, you didn't even have to bring it to a boil or anything. You just want it to be thick. Like I said, you don't want to overcook it because you're going to process this for another 30 minutes in the canner. So now that it's thickened up like this, I'll go ahead and fold in my apple slices. Okay, it's nice and mixed together. Now I'm just going to go ahead and move it over here and get my jars out. See here, and the water's hot. And go ahead and just take 1 jar out at a time. Ooh, put it on here to help keep my towel clean. I'm going to fill them up to 1 inch, which is like right here. Go ahead and just scoop it up and put it in there. I have my chopstick here to help Push it down in there and move it around, get out any air bubbles, any air spaces that it might be in there. Filled up nicely. I have a wet paper towel here that's nice and clean, and I'm just going to go around here and make sure this is nice and clean and nothing is on there so that the lids seal. Take a lid, make sure there's nothing on there. I did clean them. Put that on here. Band here. Put it on there finger tight, which is just as soon as I feel kind of resistance, I go just a little bit more. Then I'm going to stick it back in the counter here. Then I'm going to repeat the process and do every single jar here. And then when I get done, I'll be back and turn up the heat to get it to boil. That's my last one. Go ahead and put it in here. And then I'm going to turn the heat up so it starts to boil. And once it starts to boil, I'm going to set the timer for 30 minutes. They're boiling away, so I'm going to go ahead and time it for 30 minutes. It has been 30 minutes, so I turned off the heat, and I'm just going to let them sit here for about another 10 minutes. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and just take them out here. Set them over here to cool down. I think they look really good. There they are. 8 jars of apple pie filling. Once they cool down, I can label them and put them in my pantry.